Hello everyone and welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. On today's episode it's Luminar 4. We're doing a single image edit using Luminar 4 as a standalone app. We're starting out with this image right here and we're going to make it look like this with the magic of Luminar, so stay tuned. Here we are in Luminar 4 and we're in the library module. Now my workflow is generally working with Photoshop and using Luminar 4 as a plugin, but occasionally I like to use Luminar 4 as a standalone product and do a single image edit, and I want to show you how you can do that today. So again, as I said, we're in the library module, and you can see we have over here on the right hand side, we have all photos, single image edits, recently added, recently edited, trash, and different things like that. And we see our folders over here. As you can see, I don't have many in here because I don't really work from Luminar 4 as a standalone, as I said. So to add a image for a single image edit, it's very simple. Just come up to the plus right here, and you either can add folder with images or you can edit a single image. So all you have to do now is just click this, and this is opening up to my desktop here on the file browser, and I'll just double click this, and just like that, we're ready to edit. Now the first thing I want to do is come up here to Canvas and come to Lens and Geometry and click on Auto Distortion Corrections. Let's remove chromatic aberrations. Always a good place to start. Now I'm even going to click on the defringe. I don't really see anything that needs defringed, but I'm clicking it on anyway. And now I want to come to the layers, and we're working on the lock layer right here for initial adjustments. And let's come here to our Essentials panel, and we'll start out with light, and let's just do some adjustments here. Now we can check our white balance here. It looks a little cool on the water here, so I might just take this little white balance picker tool, click on that, and come down the water. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of a blue cast there. I want that white. Okay. And that may be just slightly warm, so I might just ease off on that a little bit to make it a little bit cooler. You know, maybe somewhere right around there I think looks pretty good. I think the tint's okay. I'm not going to touch that. And let's just check things out. We'll look at our histogram. Now our sky is definitely blown out here. I might want to increase the exposure a little bit on the image, just a little bit, maybe somewhere right around there. Let's give it a little bit of smart contrast, just a little bit. These are just starting edits here. And let's check our highlights out. Let's just maybe pull our highlights back just a little bit. I always like to ease off of my highlights just a little bit. And we want to open our shadows up a little bit. Maybe something like that. And I love this shadow adjustment here. And there we go. I just don't want to lose any of my shadow details, and I think that looks pretty good. And now let's go to AI Enhance, and we'll give it a little bit of AI accent. I just love AI accent here. It's beautiful. So maybe somewhere right around in there looks good. I'm not going to mess with the sky enhancer yet anyway till I add my sky replacement. And let's go to our AI structure. This is usually my next step. I'm just going to bump up the structure here a little bit. This image can take a lot of structure actually. But maybe somewhere starting out right around there. We can always come back and readjust these things. Now let's go ahead and go to the Creative tab. And now we're going to go to AI Sky Replacement and Sky Selection. And I think I had a sky in mind for this, and that was Blue Sky 6. And like magic, right? It looks really good. Now I like to zoom in around these trees just to see if there's any issues here. And sometimes it takes a second for it. Yeah, there's a little bit of problems in here. And you can play around with the Sky Global and the closed gaps. I'm going to start with Sky Global and bump this up. I find if you take this up a good amount here, like see even right around there, like around the 73, yeah, that takes care of our problems, and I'm happy with that. And I think the highlights in the clouds are going right. If they weren't, we could click on Flip Sky if we needed to. And I'll just show you. We could flip that sky by clicking Flip Sky. But I like the sky this way, and I think it's working because looks like the highlights are on the left, and that's where the light's coming in on the left-hand side. So I think we're good. Yeah, see, our shadows are on the right. So I think that's going to be nice. That's looking pretty good. Now we can play around with the atmospheric haze if we wanted to. And maybe just a little bit, something like that. I think looks pretty good. And sky temperature, this picture is a little on the warm side, so I may want to just take the sky temperature and move it to the right just a very little bit, just to warm that sky up just a little bit. Now, do we want to relight the scene? It's defaulted at 20. Let's shut this off. And I don't know, I might just ease off on that a little bit, maybe somewhere right around there. And so far, so good. I think it's now time to work on some colors, so let's go back to the essentials and click on color. And I'm not going to touch the saturation vibrance yet because I think everything looks okay. I think these oranges are a little bit hot and I want to work in these trees a little bit. I'm going to use Landscape Enhancer for that. In fact, let me go ahead and do that first. Let's go to Landscape Enhancer. I'm going to go to Foliage Enhancer. Yeah, look how I can bring some life to those trees, and I like that. And then we can play with this foliage hue and then shift it one way or the other to get it looking right. We don't want it to look nuclear, but let's see, a little bit more, a little less. And again, we can always come back and readjust. Right there I think looks good. Let's click this toggle, before and after, before and after. Yeah, pretty good. It might be a little too strong. Let's ease off a little bit. I just wanted to do that first before I get into the color. So let's go into color now. All right, so we're going to leave saturation and vibrance the way it is for now. Let's play with remove color cast. And I might just move that a little bit. I don't know, I think that makes a little difference there. And so I'm liking that, and I think we're going to go with that. Now we're going to come into our advanced settings here. And if yours isn't open, just click advanced settings. And I always like to start out with luminance. I'll start out with reds and move this luminance just to target the reds, see where the reds are at. And so we don't have much red here, so we're just going to leave that in the center. Let's go to our oranges here. Yeah, we can see we have a lot of oranges here. So let's work on oranges. Do we want to darken them up or lighten them up? Let's darken them a little bit. I think I just want to darken them off just a little bit there. Now let's play with their saturation. Do we want them to have more saturation? I don't think so. In fact, I think I might want to ease off on their saturation a little bit because I think it's getting a little too orange. That's how this scene looks, but to me it's just slightly orange. And let's play with the hue. Do we want to shift the hue? I'm going to double click hue and get it back. I think that looks good. Let's go to yellows. We're going to have a lot of yellow in here, and there's going to be yellow in the trees as well. So as you can see, yeah, see the trees are getting lighter and the rocks and things like that. So let's play with the yellows here. Do we want to darken these yellows up any? And I might just, take them back just a little bit, like a -4. Let's play with their saturation. I don't think we want to add saturation to our yellows. So I'm going to double click this. And I think the hue is good. And let's click this toggle. See where we're at so far. Before and after. Yeah, it's looking nice. It's balancing out this image here. I love this color tool here. It's really nice. Let's work on our greens, and that's going to deal with the trees. Yeah, took a second for it to engage there. So do I want to lighten up some of those trees? I might just a little bit, just to add a little bit of nice interest in there. Okay, and how about the saturation? We can bring that saturation up or pull it back a little bit, and I might just ease off on it slightly, right about there. And I think the hue is good, so I'm not going to touch that. And let's see. I'm going to go to blues for our sky here and see if we want to lighten up our sky or darken it down. This is darker. I'm going to start darker and then just move it and stop where I think it looks good. And now I'm not looking at my slider, I'm looking at the picture. As you can see, right there I think is good. Oh, I brightened it up. All right, now let's see if it needs some saturation. And again, look at your picture, don't look at your sliders. That's going to mess you up. You want to look at the image, not the sliders. And I'm thinking right around there. So I bumped the saturation up slightly. Let's click the toggle here. Here's the before and here's the after. So nice, it balances out the image rather nicely, and I'm happy with that. And I'm not going to mess with the magentas and purples. I think that looks good. It's always good to take a little pause and study the image. So just look it over and see what you think it needs. And what I'm thinking, I think this foreground needs darkened up here a little bit. I might want to ease off on the rocks, the brightness of these rocks right here. I love the trees and everything. The waterfall is looking pretty good. I may lighten it, I'm not sure. I like the sky where it is. I might want to add a vignette. But let's go ahead and click the eyeball here so we can see where we've come from. So there's a before and after. So already we've come a nice way. And then also look at your saturation. Is it oversaturated? And we'll study that later towards the end. All right, so the next phase is to, let's darken up this foreground. So let's come to the pros tools here. Let's get an adjustable gradient right here. And let's go ahead and set the orientation point. And here I want to darken the foreground. So I'm going to take this graduation area right here. I'm going to drag on the top and narrow it down a little bit, maybe somewhere right around there, and pull it up into about here. All right, now I'm going to click on bottom, and I'm going to take the exposure and just decrease that exposure on the bottom there. See that? Because now that pulls your eye into the image more, and we definitely want to close that off. Don't want to go crazy with it, but I do want to darken it up a decent amount. I still need to darken these rocks here, and I still need to darken this area, but that's a good starting point. My next step is to darken these lighter rocks here just a little bit and ease off on these rocks a little bit. To do that, I need a light adjustment. I've already used my light adjustment. It doesn't give me layer masking capabilities, so I got to come up to layers, add a new layer, a new adjustment layer. Let's go ahead and name that layer dark. Let's just call it darken rocks, because that's what I'm going to be doing here. All right, so we're going to come here and get light, come to essentials and get a light tool. I'm going to ease off in the exposure. I'm just looking at the rocks, the lighter rocks here. I'm not really worried about the rest of the image, because that's what I want to ease off on a little bit, something like that. And what I want to do next is go to Edit Mask and get a brush. I'm painting in. I want to make sure I'm painting in. My softness is at 100%. My opacity is at 100%. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger with my right bracket key. I'm just going to paint on these lighter rocks right here. Just to, tone them down a little bit. Staying away from the waterfall. Right in here, and maybe right there. Okay, and now I'm going to take the opacity and pull it back to about 50% or so. Make my brush a little smaller, and I just want to go over the top of these rocks right here, just to darken them down a little bit. I don't want to go too dark on them in here, and I might just do a little burning in here, just working these shadow areas a little bit under here, just to add a little depth and dimension while I'm at it. Okay, so something like that. Now, to see the before and after, we got to come up to layers, and we're on darken rock. So let's just click this. So there's before, and let's click it again, and there's after. So that's nice. So we darken the top of these rocks, darken these rocks down a little bit, and I think we're looking good. We're almost done with this image. I just want to add a few minor adjustments. I want to add a vignette, maybe reduce the color a little bit and add a little bit more exposure. To do that, I'm going to go and add a new layer. You don't really have to for this next step, but I want to. So I'm coming up to layers and clicking the plus here, add a new adjustment layer. And let's go ahead and name that layer, because it really helps to name your layers in case you need to go back and readjust things. So let's just call this vignette. I'm just going to type not VUG, Dave, VIG, and let's call it color and light. That'll help us. All right, so we have our new layer. Let's go to the essentials. Everything's going to be right in here. Let's go to vignette. I have a hard time saying that word, vignette, sometimes. So I'm going to take the amount slider and pull it back a good bit, like this. And a little trick is to take the feather and take it the whole way back. So it helps you to adjust the roundness and also the size. Okay, so I want a vignette somewhere in that shape, right? That's the size around this. A shape something like that. And the size maybe right around there. And then I'm going to take my feather. I'm just going to run it the whole way up like this. Now it's a little bit too strong, so I'm just going to ease off on it a little bit. I don't want you to really see that there's a vignette there, but I want the vignette just to pull us into the image, and that looks really good. Let's click this toggle. So there's the before and there's the after. As you can see, just a very minor vignette. Now I want to explore the color a little bit. And I'm just looking at the saturation. I think it's slightly oversaturated, so I'm just going to take the saturation and ease it off to maybe like a -5. I'm usually at the end of my image just pulling back in the saturation a little bit. Not always, but you really got to examine the image, and I think that looks good. And now let's go to light. And I'm going to give it just a little bit more exposure, not much, like to about a 15 right there. Let's come back up to our layers and this vignette color and light layer, let's uncheck it. That's without it, and that's with it. And I think that looks really good. And I might come back to the light here. And where am I at? I might just ease off in that exposure. I think I'm a little too much. I'm thinking more around a 9 or a 10 I think looks good. Let's come back up here and click on the checkbox before and after. Yeah, just a little bit more exposure. Now let's come to the split screen. I love the split screen. So here we are. Here's the original, and let's wipe across and watch the magic of Luminar. Really cool, right? Let's click up here. Now let's click the eyeball. There's the before and there's the after. Now I would consider this edit pretty much done at this point. However, I myself would probably dig into the edit a little bit further and maybe do some dodging and burning, add some local details to maybe some of the rocks here, into the trees, and little things like that. Before I go, I feel this image needs a bit of a crop. So let's come up here to the canvas tools, click crop and rotate. And that opens up the crop tool, and I'm going to leave the aspect ratio in original. I just want to pull this side in a little bit here and get the waterfall more in the center of the image here. So I'm just going to pull this in like about there, come down, because maybe shorten up on the bottom a little bit, maybe right around there. Something like that. Maybe come back over this way just a little bit more. I just didn't like the way that edge looked over there. Didn't think it looked finished properly. I'm thinking right there, and let's click done. It applies a crop. Yeah, I think I'm much more happier with that crop right there. Well, there was our single image edit. I hope you enjoyed this one. I love Luminar 4. I love bringing these videos to you. If you enjoyed this one, please like and share it with your friends. It really helps me out on my channel. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon. And then every time I upload a new training tutorial, you'll be notified about it. Also, leave comments and questions in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. I really appreciate each and every one of my viewers and subscribers. Thanks for watching The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I'll see each and every one of you next time. But until then, happy editing.